Hey everybody, Weem here. Welcome to Oxygen Not Included. I'm very excited about this game and waiting for this one for a while. It's from Clay Entertainment. I always forget which one. They're the guys who made Don't Starve, a game I really enjoyed quite a bit. Did a very long series of when I was first getting my YouTube channel going. Basically, I've been playing a little bit, kind of getting used to some things, but I'm going to start up a new one, kind of walk you through the very early basics, and yeah, let's jump into this. So for those of you following me on Twitter, you may have seen, at least last night at the time of this recording, I was posting a lot of screenshots of the game, including some characters like Vortak and Mojo, but this is actually going to be a restart of that essentially, and I am going to give this guy, I just saw him with -5 athletics, he's looking super slothy. We're just going to make him Vortak. Not that Vortak is out of shape or anything, but I don't know. I just like the idea. This guy looks lazy. Fine. We're just going to call him Vortak. We're going to jump in here and call this one Mojo. Name that one. And then we're going to go ahead and do Kathy because I had Kathy last night as part of the series as well, or as part of my test run, not series. I wasn't recording last night. So there you go. We got Vortak, Mojo, Kathy. Obviously, we could shuffle this and get some different characters in here, but I think I just kind of want to go with what's here because I am not going to be doing a lot. I just kind of want to present one video to you guys, explain kind of a bit about what the game is, show you some gameplay there, and then probably leave it at that. So we've got all kinds of different stats here. We could see Kathy's got a +1 athletic. You can see that this determines their movement speed, so she has +10% movement speed. You get the idea. We also have positive and negative traits here, as long as some additional stats. Some decor is what we have to kind of consider when we're laying out our base. Okay, here we go. Everybody has just arrived. I'm going to actually pause the game here once we get in. You can see our crew has awoken miles beneath the surface of an unfamiliar terrestrial body. Oddly, they have no recollection of how they got here. It's going to be best that we start to do some digging. So now I'm going to go ahead and pause this. I'm going to walk you through just some very quick basics. Top left, we have time controls, as well as some information about our stress and everything, and some quick tips, things that have popped up. We've got a lot of other information up here. We end up seeing a lot of resources up here as well. I think it kind of shows what we have. So if I open this up, you can see we've got field rations. Down below, we have a lot of different commands we can give. To dig, for example, the shortcut there is G, so I can hit that, select an area, like so, to do that. And we can mouse over things and see what they are as well. If I click that, we've got sandstone, we've got algae up here, all kinds of information about what those blocks mean. Now, another very important part here is we can actually mouse over the open areas, and you can see it says oxygen and then breathable, and down here we get the same thing. We've got water. So this is our breathable space. We're going to want to expand into some other areas and start building out a base. You can see I've got everybody digging right now. Obviously we can have them do some other things, but we're in a very small space. For example, there's no harvesting to do or really any cleaning. So digging is typically the first priority. Now on the bottom left, we've got all of these buttons down here. These are actually the things that we can make. So if I click on base, you can see we can make a ladder, tile. This is kind of a floor to walk on, or walls. Storage, compactor, things like that on down the line. Now we also need to do some research in order to gain more things to build. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But what I want to do first is I want to make storage. And here we're presented with a grid. Excuse me. It says it must be built on the ground, so it's red. White when we have it in an area that we can build. And I'm going to actually place this over here. So that's going to be set for them to build. And you can see that it's awaiting material delivery of sandstone. So oddly enough, this is made from sandstone. But we are actually digging up quite a bit of that, so you can see Mojo throwing what turns out to be bolts and other parts into this. So there we go. We've got this set. We've got the icon here, storage not allocated. So we have to kind of decide what goes here. We can decide whether it's kind of garbage that goes in here, things we sweep, or if it's other specific material. For now, we're just going to choose all. That's totally fine. So the oxygen acts a lot like water. We have oxygen here, but a vacuum over here. This is not breathable. So this doesn't take away all of our oxygen. You can see that we will slowly be able to breathe this. It's unbreathable here, it's breathable here, it's actually kind of creeping into unbreathable on this side. But these will mix, and we'll be able to actually breathe in this area without a problem. And in that way we can kind of expand the area and still breathe. The problem is we'll have less and less oxygen, so we need to generate more. We've got something like this with the oxalite that says it's a consumable ore, and it's emitting oxygen. So one of the things I don't know about the game, because I just haven't played enough, is this better to leave here, or do we want to harvest this basically as a resource, and does that help us out in some way? I'm not entirely sure about that yet. I think in my previous run I left it alone for the most part, because it looked like it was just generating it. So one of the things I want to get going right away is the research. This stuff takes a little while, so I've actually put the research station down, but it does require power. So let's jump over here to power. We're going to get the manual generator. This is kind of a, a little wheel that we will stand and run in. I'm going to actually put it next to this other guy so I don't have to wire too far right off the bat. We're going to grab some electrical wire, and then you could see we just need to connect these spaces here. So I'm going to drag this over. Just like that, and that'll put some wiring in the background. Now one of the other things I can do is put down a battery, which I think is kind of important because that'll store up some power as well. So let's go ahead and put this right here, I think, as well. We're going to get some electrical wiring and connect it up. So there you go, we're on our way. We have the research station down, but we don't have power, but all of that is coming along right now. There we go, we've got Mojo running on the wheel. You can see the battery is actually filling up. I think we can kind of decide on the battery how much energy we want to have filled in there. I can't remember. Maybe we don't decide that on the battery. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't recall. I thought there was some control. There we go. Actually, on the wheel, we can decide the threshold there. So we've got enough power. We've got power in the battery, which means we can actually run the station. And when I mouse over, you can see it's red here. No fabrications queued. No research selected. So let's go ahead and open research and decide what we want to do. We've got some farming stuff in here that would be good for food. Probably a good idea. We've got a little bit of food right now, though. I'm kind of thinking about doing liquid piping because this allows us to pipe in things like water. Which could be good, but there is gas piping, which I haven't played with, so I think maybe we'll do this because this is kind of cool for oxygen. I'm not really sure. We got a lot of great choices here. I'm gonna have to think about this a minute, but we'll go ahead and end up selecting one of those, and then we will start getting in with the fabrication, I think it is. It says no fabrications queued. We'll get some of those queued up. Okay, I selected farming tech, so now we just need to get some fabrication going. If I select this, we've got novice research here, which we can fabricate. You can see the ingredients are simply dirt. We've got that. So we're going to go ahead and actually hit the continuously fabricate. So this is going to keep going until we have researched our selection in here, until this gets to 20 of 20, essentially. So we're going to get that going. That's going to be great. Now, we've got all this space in here. Let's think about this a minute. We've got, you can see we've got 0 stress, which is good. We've got 3 people. We have plenty of calories for now. Now, eventually, we're going to get another person to join us. It says next duplicant, which is one of our people, and it's counting down in seconds the amount of time until we get another person. So, food will be pretty important at that point. We've got the ration box here where the food is stored. Nice little meter on the front to give us an indication of how much we have here. In my previous little test run, this barely moved. And the entire time I was playing, I think it was over an hour, I think it moved down to 2. Granted, I put down some things for food eventually, but still, food didn't seem to be too big of an issue, I say, as I realize I'm researching the farm tech. Well, it's time for everybody to take a break. You can see they've just passed out on the floor, and it's made me realize I probably should have taken care of that. It'd be nice to get some cots going. So let's see, we do that, where do we do that at? I'm trying to remember without actually selecting one of these, trying to remember Weem, furniture, that's right. So we're going to get some cots going. And it looks like one of the things I ran into previously in my previous test run was that Mojo snored, and it was keeping Vortak up at night. Neither of these guys seem to be snoring, and neither does Kathy. So maybe they're all good. Which means maybe we could just go ahead and put the beds near each other. Here. And then we will have a dig command for this guy. Now I may want to get down to this water. So I'm not sure another bed right here is a good idea, but I suppose I could come down and move into that. Now another thing I've done is I've set up a task to dig out some stuff here, which they've done. Create a ladder, which you can see Mojo is getting in on right now. And it popped through to here. We already had oxygen because of this guy. So that was great. And then digging this area out is kind of the next big task because it's copper, and there's a lot of things that we want to make that require copper. So we're going to get up here. You can see I'm kind of strategically not popping into the unbreathable vacuum, even though I'd love to have all this copper. For now, I don't really have a good means of generating more oxygen, so I'm trying to cut back on the amount of the open space that I'm moving into. Oh man, Mojo's making a mess back here. So's Vortex. They couldn't hold it. Fortunately, I've been trying to get this area cleared out so I could put a toilet down, but you can see this actually is contaminated water. When they have to go to the bathroom, they're going to go, and so you've got to take care of those things. Let's see. So if I go to plumbing, I think it is. There we go. We have the outhouse. So we can actually build this here now that I've made that space. This thing will actually fill up and you have to clean it out. I think there's a way to do like piping to pipe the output away. But in the meantime, this should work once we get that up. And you can see that it's very, it's kind of gross over here. Contaminated water is stinking the place up. I do have 2 of the beds down though, and we've got a 3rd one coming up, so that's good. One of the things I'm not great at right now because I'm still learning the game is how to basically separate the different rooms based on the decor factor, right? This has a decor of 0 with a 0 radius, so I guess that's good. This has a negative decor though with a decor radius of 2, which I think means that putting a bed right next to it, probably not the best idea. So again, I'm not great at separating these things out as one should, but that's okay. This is going to be a short-lived run, I believe, just to kind of, once again, give you guys an idea of the basics behind the game. Vortex getting off easy. He just gets to research all day, it seems, while Mojo and Kathy clean up. Kathy was sponging the floor over here. She's probably going to come back over here and help. There she goes. Oh, now Vortex getting in on it as well. It is quite the mess here. I let it get really bad. But they're going to get all this resolved. You can see I've dug out some area here. I'm going to get some access with a ladder to the water. I think if I were to pop a hole here, they might be able to reach. I don't think they can actually reach that far. But basically, I'll get down here and do some piping and everything. We're researching the piping right now, so Vortex is on. So we'll be able to get some of that up there. I want to be able to make food, but the requirement on both of these is bottled water. So we're going to have to get that going. That's the big thing there. Now I did set up a compactor over here for storage. The odd thing is if you set it for sweep only, it indicates that that storage has not been allocated. So I was thinking maybe that's okay. I just want it to hold objects that have been swept only, but I don't like flashy red things, so I chose sand additionally. It's like, okay, fine, I guess we could put sand in there. But anyway, it seems as though it's time to sleep once again, so we're going to let everybody rest and we'll pick it up in the morning and get everybody back to work. So obviously everybody's hungry right now, but I wanted to make sure and showed you how the overlays work because that was something I didn't get into. I'm going to back out a little bit here. So we've got the different overlays. We have oxygen overlay. So let's take a look at this. And you can see this is a bit of a problem. This is, they kept waking up trying to breathe. I'm so terrible. Oxygen's totally fine over here. I'm thinking about bringing one of those, the oxygen machines, over to this side. Probably a good idea. We have the power grid overlay, which right now is very simple for us. We've just got this straight line temperature, which is fine. We've got some hot points there, but nothing too crazy. Light, and the light is important. There's actually some things that say they work best when they're within a lit area, so that's something to consider. We have liquid plumbing, which we don't have any of right now. Gas plumbing as well. Decor. So you can see where we're benefiting from decor and where there's really bad stuff. I need to be using this a bit more often, as I mentioned before. It's not something I pay close enough attention to at all. And then we have a priority overlay, which really I haven't changed any priorities right now, so they're all in the average priority. So those things are very, very helpful in making sure you're running things well and efficiently. And obviously I need to pay much closer attention to those. Okay, so the research is done on the liquid, was it, piping? I think it was fluid piping, something like that. So that actually opened up a number of things, but let's jump into here. We've got a liquid pump, so I do want to get this in. Now the problem is you need it underwater, and if I put it down here, it looks like you can actually put this anywhere in here. That's cool. I was going to say, I don't know if they can reach there, but we can set it here, for example. So that's cool. And this is something I really haven't played with. I put one of these down and I did a couple pipes for it, but I did nothing with the pipes. So I definitely want to play with that. Let's see. Can be run through floors and wall tiles. Excellent. Okay. So what I want to do then is see if I can connect. Is this where you connect that? That doesn't. Maybe that is where I connect that. Okay. Basically want to bring this up to here, and I think what we'll do is run it along this area, but for now I think that's good enough. We'll get the construction started on that. Now it actually looks like we get somebody here now. New duplicate available. So let's go ahead and pause the game. Choose this person. So we have Vernon, Floyd, Shannon, all of which we can change the names, obviously. Cooking. Ooh, look at this cooking. 4. Bring in a chef. Scientist, though, might be good with the learning. We get the research going faster. That could be cool. I'm actually thinking that might be a good way to go. Let's do that. And let's see. Let's bring in Kane. Kane Hart we'll bring in here. Cool. Let's print you. We're going to print us a cane. There he goes. He comes flying in here. So we've got a little bit more help. Now, obviously, we're going to be eating up a bit more oxygen, but I did get another one of those guys down. Let's click this guy. So this is getting better. This was all red before. I think this is getting better. It doesn't seem to be running right now. But, yeah, I think overall things are definitely looking a little less red. Okay, we were getting a supercomputer worked on. Of course, now everybody had to go to sleep, unfortunately. Now, we need this because part of the research I selected, if I bring up this research, is the percolation. And I'm excited about this because we have, let's see, what was it? Produces a steady supply of oxygen using piped-in water. So this would be really cool to get going because we are ready now. We've got a pump, and we have water and some piping, but we have just nowhere to go with it. So you could see we have 17 of 20, and that's when I realized, oh, we have this other intermediate technology we have to research. And in looking around a bit, I discovered that that's what the supercomputer is for. So once we get this finished, we can get that research going as well. And we can start generating oxygen from water. Right now I'm having a problem because it's carbon dioxide down here. It's a bit of an issue. So anyway, I want to try and get that resolved. I did put down a planter box here. I had a flower here before for decor, but I didn't have the seed I needed for that. So I threw this guy down because I think there was a couple different options. And there you go, we have 4 seeds there. So we'll go ahead and plant that. So that'll help get us some food. Otherwise, food seems okay. Storage looks pretty full between the two. And this sweep one is not picking up anything right now, so I might need to set a task to sweep if I'm going to go ahead and use that. It's probably a good idea to keep this place clean anyway. So I'm going to actually go ahead and do kind of a sweep action through here just to make sure. It looked like there was nothing to do there at all. How about here? A couple little things. Nothing crazy. That's fine, we'll do that. Now Mojo's cleaning the toilet. It was, it was in dire need. I think we just had a few more uses left. So anyway, I'm actually not entirely sure where this waste goes once it comes out. I don't know if that's counted as like a sweep so that it goes into this compactor. Really not sure. But anyway, she's working on that. Vortec is working on the research. If I bring that up, you can see that we are 8 of 10. We're actually really close. I thought we might have been at like 5 or 6. So we're going to speed that up a bit and get that going. We don't have, what are we missing here? I guess we're missing we shouldn't be missing dirt. Let's go ahead and do this because we do have water now. I really needed to have been on this. We're just going to go ahead and get that going continuously. Now this isn't all that great. It may cause diarrhea, right? It's definitely not good. I don't know if I have meal lice. I suppose I could look. Maybe we don't. I think that shows up in here if we do. I think so. So anyway, maybe that's not one we can do. I was going to say let me switch, but we'll get that going, hopefully. Let's see here. What else do we have going on here? We don't have enough algae for the oxygen guy here. I was thinking about that before. Let's get into here because we've got a lot of it down here. So we can actually kind of extend this down to start digging this out. Now the cool thing is I discovered we can actually lay out ladder as well, even though it's not fully dug out yet. And I think they'll do both. I'm pretty sure that's what I did here. Let me double check. Are you going to dig or no? Okay, so they do both. Awesome. So we'll get this dug out and we'll be able to get this algae here, make sure that we can continue with the oxygen production up top. I guess we'll dig out here as well. I don't need these two. Whoops. Seed cancel. Cool. Now I've kind of panned around and looked. We've got all kinds of stuff around here. It's a pretty big area, and I think you can even extend beyond what we could see here. We'll start to reveal more of this kind of fog of war thing going on. But we can mouse over and see that we've got gold and slime, all kinds of stuff. Contaminated oxygen. We don't want that. Granite. We got rock. All kinds of things. So I'm trying to kind of devise a strategy of where I want to start digging. We got some really cool looking crystal stuff here as well, and we even have alien life hopping around. Check out how disturbing this food is we're making. It's so gross. Kane is just pumping this stuff out. It's so nasty looking, a mush bar. But they'll eat it, and then as Vortec is doing here, they will have to run to the restroom pretty frequently. But let me pan over here because I've got the electrolyzer. I've got that planned out here. I've got the piping carrying over to feed it water. I even have power fed over to it. So the cool thing is we should be able to pump some water into this thing and generate some oxygen. If I actually select this, you can see that the oxygen's better, but it still hasn't fully kind of resolved itself yet. So I think this guy's kind of useless down here. We are low on algae, so that's not getting fed, but even when we had that going, there was too much carbon dioxide here. It wasn't doing, or it wasn't able to do the job that I needed it to do. Let's kind of back out of this. So we really need to get this going, and I think, my hope is that this really, this thing is just awesome, and it just totally fills our area in here with oxygen. It does require copper ore. That's kind of what it's fed to it, awaiting material delivery. Actually, maybe that's what's used to create it. It probably just needs the water, right? That makes sense. We're not burning copper for oxygen. But that's okay. Up top you can see we've got plenty of copper. So we should get that completed here real soon. Looks like they're trying to get that done now. Go, go, go. Gonna break up that block. Just about there. Just need to build that last component. You guys get up here. There we go. I think Mojo's on it. She's throwing bolts at it. We're gonna get this thing done. Okay, and I'm gonna have to choose another research as well, but let's kind of wait for this guy to get done. There we go. Cool, so we are good. Now it says empty pipe, but there you go. That is cool. You can see the water flowing right in there, and there we go. We are now generating oxygen. Let's actually bring up that overlay and see. So oxygen does tend to like to go up, so it may not actually pump enough to fill, all the area down here. I'm not sure. And maybe, understanding that it would have been better to kind of tunnel out an area here and place it down low so that it filled up. And you could see Kane is passed out on the ground because we neglected to make a cart for him. I'm gonna have to get on that. Well, we just added a new member. Kimberly Normal is running around here. You can see she's generating some food right now. She basically burst on the scene and started running around here like crazy, getting busy. So we've got a cot up here. Actually added 2 up here because we needed one for Kane as well. So that should cover us. And oxygen up there is not too much of an issue, so that's good. But obviously we have a lot of work to do. I've got new research going into filtration so that we can actually filter the carbon dioxide, turning it into oxygen. I figured that would be very important. As you could see Kathy kind of wheezing, trying to breathe. But anyway, this is coming along pretty well. It could be better. I mean, I give myself maybe like a 3 out of 5 right now. Definitely could be better, but I like the start here. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and leave it at that. I just wanted to quickly bring you guys in here, show you some gameplay, and maybe give you an idea of whether this was a game you wanted to check out or not. If you're really excited about this and wanting to get in right now, if you actually go to the Oxygen Not Included page in Steam, at least as far as I can tell, there's no way to buy it right there. They actually have a different app number for this version, this kind of pre-alpha release. I'll have a link down in the description for that, and from that particular page you can actually buy it right now. It's $20 to get access to it right now. Otherwise it's going to come out at some point in the future. I think their release date says ready when it's ready, or something along those lines. So anyway, I'll have a link in the description to the page where you can actually buy this once again if you are wanting in on this early. But I'm really enjoying it so far. It's pretty fun. I definitely intend on playing more and may do some videos in the future. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, I just wanted to quickly show you guys what was up. I want to thank you guys for watching as always. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time.